Yeah, keep the fire burning. Let's keep the fire burning. I greet you one more time in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, our soon coming King. And today, I want to talk to you about a topic that is very important to us, and it is about voting. So our thing today is to vote or not to vote. To vote or not to vote. Now, there was a time, a long time ago, when people, ordinary people like me and you, were not allowed to take part in elections. And so, if you did not have land, you could not vote. And you had situations where women could not vote. And in some countries, black people could not vote. Now, there are some people who never had a problem with voting. And we know that a lot of these laws changed in around 1965 in America and in different parts of the world. A lot of these things changed. But there were some people who never had any restrictions. For example, white men never had any real restrictions in terms of whether or not they wanted to vote. And so there is what they call the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act, and what it did was it just found a way to get rid of all these schisms, all these hindrances, and all these limitations that were placed in the way of people to stop people from voting. Even when black people had the chance to vote or the opportunity to vote, they were still trying to prevent them from voting, telling them that they didn't pay this tax, so they can't vote. They didn't pay that tax, they can't vote. So there were laws that were put in place to just prevent that thing from happening and to give everybody a chance to be able to do that. And so it is called like exercising your franchise. You have now the right to exercise your franchise. You have no limitations. You can just go and vote in a general elections. Now, when you really look at these situations, even now there are a lot of things that you have the right to do, but that does not really mean that you have to always do them. You know, I have a right to just go at a bar and just buy a whole bottle of vodka and orange juice and just start drinking. I have a right to do that. I have a right to just go and just, you know, if it's Campari that I like to drink, just go and just start to consume whatever it is. Johnny Walker Black or Blue or whatever it is. I have a right to do that. And no one can stop me from doing that if I choose to. Just like you have a right to vote. Now, even if I have a right to vote, that does not mean that I have to vote in every election. You understand? Because when you look at the situation, it is like sometimes voting in when you vote in some of these elections, you are actually destroying the country. You're messing up the republic when you vote in some of these elections. Because what you're saying is, no matter how badly some people run the country, you're saying that you're still willing to take part in that process. No matter what they do to the people, no matter how they squeeze the people, no matter how they misappropriate the funds of the country, you're saying that you are still willing to vote for these people. Now, when you vote in these places like here is what you vote for. Because some people just do not get it. From the time we were small, people have been doing those things and they do not get any gains from those things. It is always one set of people getting those things. And so people really need to understand what it is that they're doing. And so if it is that they do not know, here is a chance to know what it is that you're voting for when you vote in these places like here. This is what you vote for. When you vote here, you're just voting for rich people to get richer. That's what you're doing. You're voting for the people that have money, the people that are already established. You're voting to give them more strength and more power. Now, it is a very strange thing because the way some of you people behave during the election time, you insult your brothers and sisters. You disrespect everybody. You curse people, you disrespect people. Sometimes you even assault people and go to court where you have nothing to gain. Now, the other thing that you people do, some of you, is that you even go and get involved in demonic activities to try to get fellas to win. Last time, the last election, some of you were at the cemetery. Some of you were at the cemetery. What were you all doing at the cemetery? Now, the people are not asking you people to do that, you know. You choose it on your own to go and do that. At the end of the day, what do you get? You compromise your soul for certain people to win an election, to get the rich people richer, and you stay there poor for another 5 years. You poor, and you just continue to repeat that cycle. I'm telling you what it is that you're voting for, because some of you do not have any idea, any clue what you're voting for. I'm going to tell you. When you vote, that's what you vote for. You vote to deprive people of work, because these governments, from both of these mainstream political parties, they have demonstrated to you year after year, election after election, that they have no idea how to create jobs for you. They have shown you that in different ways, that they have no idea how to create jobs. So what they do is, let's say this political party A won the election. They will just fire and get rid of all the other people that they can touch from the people who were placed by the previous government, let's say political party B. So they will just get rid of everybody, and then they will give you from political party A that won the election, they will put you in their jobs. Now you need to realize that these people that you people kick out of their jobs, they have their children too. They have their bills too. And you just kick them out. All along, you people were saying that you're going to create jobs, but you know you can't create no jobs. You have done that for many years. You have fooled the people, make people believe that you can create jobs. You can't create no jobs. All you do is to just get rid of some people and you put people in their place. That's all you do. You have never created jobs for no one. And so these are the things that you people do. But you know what happened? At the end of the day, is the poor people who is always suffering with those things. You create no jobs. So when you vote, what you vote for, most times you're voting to just get some people to be fired. They cannot take care of their kids because of because of your vote, and then they put you in a hole and they never create any jobs. These are some of the things that you vote for. When you vote for the big hoteliers. These big hotels that you have there in this place, this is what you vote for. You vote for them. You vote so that these hotel people can just control the country. That is what you vote for. These big hotels, they owe the country millions of dollars. And that money, we can use it to fix up our schools, to do so many different things. But they do not pay. And these people that you elect, they do not insist that these people pay us. So what do? They find a way now to tax the poor people. Tax the poor. That's what they do. They make you pay double what a license fee is supposed to be. And they have the police chasing around because they do not give the police what they need. So the police have to think of all inventive ways to try to help themselves. These are some of the things that you vote for. Now when these hoteliers come, imagine a hotelier come to your place. They come to your country to establish their hotel. And the kind of things that these people do. Some of them want to put wall in your country, a wall, so that you who live and born in this place cannot pass through there. These are some of the things that they do. So when you vote in these elections, you are voting so that the people that you vote will empower these hotel people. These hoteliers are making millions of dollars in wines. They get duty-free concession in the wines. People consume a lot of wine in those places. They take things from the farmers. They buy goods and they take months before they pay the farmers. And what do these fellas do? You put them in power to look after your affairs, but they sell you out. These are the things. So that is what you vote for. You vote for them so that they can take care of the hotel people, and you cannot even sell your tomatoes. These are the things that you vote for. And then you go around insulting everybody for those people. That is what you vote for. Now, when we have a strong prime minister or a strong person who is willing to face them and demand that, hey, you have to pay us, you owe us, you have to pay us, if you allow these people to get too big, they can even squeeze you. You remember the last election, what one of these hoteliers did? One of these hoteliers did to Kenya and Tony. They wait at the eve of the elections to fire people just to hurt the prime minister. These are some of the things that they do. So these same prime ministers give those guys power, give them all the concession, and at the end of the day, they end up making you suffer. That's the kind of things that you vote for when you vote for these people. Now, this is why there's this prime minister from Antigua. I'm not sure what his name is. What is his name? Gordon Brown or something like that. The prime minister from Antigua. That prime minister, respect due to that prime minister. The prime minister is telling Sandals that they have to pay them their taxes. That money you owe us that. And in fact, that money you were supposed to collect that on behalf of the government, and you have to give us our money. And that is the kind of thing that we want to see. These are the kind of things that you want to see. Barbados also have a good example. You know, in Barbados, you cannot just come there, bring your hotels there, and then you only have people doing gardening work and housekeeping. No, we need people in management in Barbados too. These are some of the things that they say. So these are the things that you vote for. You vote to empower the ministers to sell the country out to these hoteliers and to others. Now, the thing is, we must not rejoice and be happy when a political party lose an election because he did not want to support a certain hotelier. So what they did in the case of this man, that they fired people just before the election. You cannot rejoice over those things, because what it shows is that it shows as if at any time they can just break your government. At any time these people can just break your government because you are giving them too much power. This is why you cannot vote for people who would allow anybody to own so much land in this country. No one is supposed to have control so many hotels in the country, because these people become so powerful and the prime minister become like a little child. The prime minister cannot talk. The prime minister is supposed to be able to speak. He is the man that we chose to represent the land. And you cannot have any man, any hotelier, anybody come into this country and think that he wants to control the prime minister. That is not supposed to happen. And who give them that power? Again, you voted for these people, weak guys, who will allow these people to come here and control everything that we have there. So you exercise your franchise, and at the end of the day, it is mainly poor people who vote for these people. All of these hotel people and these big rich people that you see here, you will never see those people by any political meeting. It is only the poor that you see going there. The average person goes there to support those people. And at the end of the election, when you vote, these people will betray you. This same guy that you had his telephone number all along, as soon as he win the election, he changes his number. You have to be careful how you exercise that franchise. These people do not care about the poor. A lot of them do not care about the poor. But what it says, Psalms 41 verse 1 says, "Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble." Because if it is that you are prime minister or whatever, and you are considering and working for the poor, even if the polls are against you, you are in trouble. God is going to remember you. God is going to remember you because you remembered the poor. And no matter what the polls say, God is going to remember you. Now, many of these people, they do not remember the poor. All they do is they use the poor. So on the night of elections, some of them they lose and they collapse. They faint. Some of them have to be hospitalized on the night of elections because they abuse the poor, and the Lord turned his back away from them, and things had to happen. You never considered the poor, so God is not going to look out for you. Now, we have a situation here where we have all these lands, and any prime minister, any politician, any government, 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 any gov leader, any sound leader, would be happy to know that, look, you have all these farmlands, the people are willing to do farming. So these are self-employed people. Let me see after that industry so that I will not have to worry about how I'm going to create. There'll be less problems upon you, less pressure to create jobs, because these are people that are employing themselves. But what you do, you neglect the poor. They neglect the poor. You were the ones, you exercise your franchise, you make noise, you insult people to support those guys. And at the end of the day, there's all of that land, and they know that you are self-employed, and they do not do much. All of them, they just play games with you, and they give you all kinds of stories. Now, look at this. You, an ordinary person, a farmer, whatever you a poor person, whatever, into farming, you are planting vegetables here. They sell you out. In Barbados, there are certain like it's probably around 2 or 3 months in the year when you can bring anything here. You cannot bring tomatoes or these things in Barbados if they produce in that day. There is a small window of time where you can bring those things there. These things will stay on the wharf. They cannot go and sell anywhere in Barbados. But what they do here, what they do is they have sold out the farmers. You, the farmers, the poor ones who go and support them in rallies, they sell you out. What happens is you will have all your tomatoes and you cannot sell it. Then they will blame you. Here are the things that they tell you. After you exercise your franchise, you voted. They will tell you that you did not tell them that you planted tomatoes. They have no idea that there was all these tomatoes on the ground, which is a lie. Because we have extension officers, people that government people pay every month to make sure that they go and check you, give you technical advice, and to know how much is on the ground. So if it is that they cannot do that, we're wasting our money again in the first place. So what they do is they will play games with you after you have exercised your franchise. They lie to you, and somebody will sign a document saying that we do not have it here, so they can bring it in. And then when you produce yours, you cannot sell. These are the things that happen to you. That is what you vote for. These are the things that they do. Now, the other problem is these things are never solved, because anytime somebody is talking against those things, you will prefer to defend a political party. You will say that this is your party, and people are not supposed to talk against your party. And you keep the whole country behind with that foolishness that you people are doing. So people are getting paid. They sign the documents and they say you have no tomatoes, and so they can bring it in from overseas. People will sign documents saying they sell 4,000 pounds of meat, of pork, whereas you only sell 2,000 pounds, just to reach that quota, so they can bring it in from overseas. And you allow those things, you take part in those things. These are the things that you voted for. So to vote or not to vote, why do you vote? You know that these same places, there are some places, that place in Vieux-Fort, where they're building the horse track thing. Anybody from the country who was going to lease lands here, they're going to charge you $1,400, around $1,500 per acre. They have sold it to the Chinese, really sold, 99-year lease or whatever, for $1 per acre. $1. You born in the place, they make you pay $1,400, and the Chinese man can pay $1. That is what you vote for, and that's what you insult people for, and that's what you go to the cemetery to provoke the dead for these kind of things. So why are you going to provoke your dead? For the dead, you get your soul, you jeopardize your soul and your spirit so that they will bring laws against you. This place is so small. Why is it that you're giving all of those lands to other people for next to nothing? So what is it that you're voting for? Do not vote to empower people to oppress you. Do not vote to allow people to take away the land. This land is very small. You have 248 square miles of land. You cannot give the land to Chinese people like that. What is it that you're voting for? You have a right to vote. I have a right to just go at any bar and just buy a quart of vodka or whatever, Johnny Walker Black, Chairman's, whatever, and just drink as I wish. I have a right to do that. Just like you have a right to vote. But that does not mean you have to just be voting like that. What is it that you're voting for? Unless people can take you seriously in the land, you do not vote. You cannot vote for rich people. You cannot vote for these hotel people. And at the end of the day, they sell you out. Be wise. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Keep the fire burning. Keep it hot. Yeah.